Hello and welcome back to Daybound. In the last episode we built this big red ball that I'm standing on right now, and today we're gonna transform it. You probably guessed it from the thumbnail. We're transforming it into a gigantic apple. So that might be considered a bad decision, but trust me, you've seen nothing yet. Because I'm not just gonna build an upright apple just like with the stem in the middle here on that face here on top. No, that would be way too easy. So instead we're gonna rotate the apple 45 degrees in that direction so that the stem sticks out here, but still that's not the worst decision we can make. So actually we're gonna rotate it again 45 degrees in that direction so that the stem, so that the top of the apple sticks out from this face here. So yeah, that might require a few little measurements and some markers here and there. So while I work on that, I'm gonna send you over to see a little clip that I recorded over at Swarmee's shop. I had to give him a little gift. A few weeks ago, I shared something on Twitter about hairy jello Tetris pieces. I promise it actually makes sense. You can look in the top right corner if you want to have a clearer example of what I'm actually talking about. But Swarmee had a very strong reaction to that, and I really need him to know that hairy jello Tetris pieces aren't as bad as they sound. So I thought I'd give him just a few of those, and so I hope that these few slime blocks covered in glow lichen will be enough to make Swarmee realize how amazing hairy jello Tetris pieces actually are. I hope you enjoyed that last clip, and I really hope that Swarmee enjoys these additions to his shop. But in the meantime, I worked on this little line of blocks here. It goes through the center of the sphere, so it's a diameter basically, and it connects one end, like the corner-ish, not really a corner, but you get what I mean, of the sphere back here, and all the way to the front here where the stem is gonna stick out. And I started digging around it because, as you can probably remember from seeing apples in your lives, the stems don't just stick out from the surface of the apple. There's kind of a little indent kind of thing, and the stem sticks out from that, so it goes inside kind of the apple. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So I'm trying to make a circular opening on the side here so that I can make a cone inside, and then I'm gonna round things up a bit and make things look better. But that's kind of the basic shape that I'm going for right now. But I need to make a circle on two diagonals at the same time, which is a bit of a nightmare, and I've been really struggling so far. It just looks like an hexagon right now, but I figured something out. I have a super cool trick up my sleeve, and of course that trick is maths. I think it's gonna be a bit easier to explain from up here, but basically what I need to do is make a flat surface, like a plane that we call in mathematics terms. So I need to make a plane that's going to be perpendicular to this axis, and that plane is going to intersect with the sphere in a perfect circle. So one good way of seeing it is if you have a perfect sphere and you cut it in a perfectly straight line, the new face that you have cut out will have its edge will be a perfect circle. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. So in order to make something perpendicular to this axis here, what I'm gonna need to do is place some blocks like that all along this line here. So it's gonna go up like that. So it's one block off each time, and same thing going down. But I don't think you need to see the entire process. I can do it all by myself, so I'm just gonna bring you back when the big hole has been cut out. And the hole has been cut out, and the most keen-eyed observers amongst you might notice something special. The hole is a lot bigger than what I marked at first. The reason's very simple. I marked it a lot smaller at first. I built the entire thing, I realized it looked really silly because I hadn't taken any form of measurements. So I tore everything down and started all over again. I scrapped all that footage. I thought it'd be better to just start over with the right size for the hole. So now we can start doing the actual top of the apple, but doing it right this time. A lot has changed since the last clip, so I thought I'd show you a bit of what I've done so far. So as you can see, well actually let's go into FreeCam mode. As you can see, I filled in the entire hole, so I'm just gonna show you how I did things, how I managed to do kind of a curve like that. So first of all, let's ignore the obvious part, the middle part here. It's not done yet. We're gonna do that later. But just to begin or to do the outer part of the top of the apple here, I started with a flat ring here, a flat diagonal ring. So it's flat because, as you can see, all these blocks here are connected by their edges. So that makes a flat surface, and I made the ring just, I freehanded it. It's not perfect, but it's good enough, and that's okay for that kind of build. And to connect that ring to the edge of the hole to fill it in, I used some curves like that. So that's on these curves that I would either go down or go in, as we can see all over the place. That's the trick that I found, or not a trick, but a pattern that I found on actual faces of the sphere here. So we have these curved lines here, so I kind of repeated that pattern on this side here, and it worked well. So I did it on that corner here and on that face here to connect it to the ring itself, and then I just had to fill in the open areas in the middle there that were left. So it made things a lot easier, that and using FreeCam just to have a better look at what I was doing. It really helped. So it's just a process of trial and error, basically. So let's take a look at it from the side. That's where we looked at it the last time. So I think it was like cut here. So we filled all that in. And now all that's left to do is to fill in the middle part here. And then we'll be done with the shape of the apple. And that's the whole of the apple done. So the top of the apple is finally finished, and the shape of the apple is finished because I actually already did the bottom of the apple. You might have noticed it earlier in the video while the entire thing was open on the top. But yeah, we have the bottom of the apple with the little leaves. Again, I'm probably gonna have to work a bit on the shape, but we're gonna do that later because now I want to build a stem. Now that our apple has a stem, as well as a secret door, but please don't tell anyone, we can start working on the texturing of the skin of the apple, because there's no such thing as like a perfectly red apple all around, like all over. That's not how they work. So the first part that we're going to do is obviously going to be here, because that's where we've been working for the entire episode. And if you look at that part of an apple, it's a bit more brown, yellowish brown kind of. And I figured that the best block for that would be terracotta. So I'm going to fill in this bit here and kind of extend it with like lines. That's kind of how it feels like it looks. It feels like it looks. Anyway, that's how it looks according to my eyes. So I'm going to try and replicate that. I have no idea what's wrong with my eyes, but that block, the regular terracotta, for that texture here, for that roll in the texture of the apple, it makes no sense whatsoever. No idea what I was thinking. The color is just not right. It's not even close. So I'm actually gonna replace it all with some jungle wood like that. It looks a lot better. It's a bit too textured for the whole thing, but you know what? That's what we're gonna have to work with, because it's like the only block that I found that actually has the color that we need for that. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now. It looks a lot better, so let's keep working on the color and add some green patches here and there on the apple. And I hate it. So, see you in the next episode, I guess.